December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the San Francisco 49ers. They were Super Bowl opponents twice in the 80s, and they're back at it here. The Bengals and Niners are underway. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
You can't block me. So Mike 40.
Here's Burrow.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, they're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ready? Mike 42. Mike 42. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Get set. Ready? So we got man. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Mixon with a first down carry. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
1-1, ready? Mike 42. Bandit. Check, 42.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal, and they sent that play backwards.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Another try for Mixon. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
On play action, Lance. Well, he's going to take a shot right away, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Lance. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Lance going to keep it on the option. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Come on now. Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. Joe Burrow in year number 2, moving around pretty good considering the seriousness of his injury last year. If you're a defensive coordinator here, what are you trying to do to slow Joe Burrow down?
I think you want him to be in rhythm. I think you want him to be on time. And normally, you want to take that away from a quarterback, make him hold it a little bit longer. But when he has a chance.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way for the Cincinnati score. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run. He was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
There we go.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. He was able to escape the pocket and get out of bounds. You like the decision-making?
I love the decision-making, and I love the execution because you just know that his eyes were darting all over the place. Now they talk about keeping your head on a swivel, looking for the danger spots where the hits are going to come from. How about him getting all he could out of that run? And then
there he goes, right side. Touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. For Brandon Ayuk, he is as electric as they come with the ball in his hands in the open field, and he turns that catch into big yardage.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch, and that one wound up in the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is down to a field goal.
Bengals 10, 49ers 7. Joey Sly sets the kickoff.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports.
49ers 7.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13.
Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
Got.
Now it's Burrow.
You can't block me.
He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That second down play nets a -4.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
I'm wondering.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Double dog. That's the way.
11.
Got.
Now Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Here's Sermon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
Ready? They're not ready for this.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here we go. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 87 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47.
42's the mic. Check. 42's the mic.
Now Joe Mixon. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Mike 42, check, check, Mike 42. I don't think you got it, son.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 41-yard line.
Throwing now is Lance. And that's complete to Adams. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time.
The evidence was right there.
That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game.
Bengals 10. Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
A handoff to Mixon. And he's taken down inside the 30. 97 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you...
Touchdown, Bengals! Joe Mixon, touchdown number 22 on the season, and the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. McPherson on for the point after. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Breaks through the contact. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards down.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Lance, 30 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here we go. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Double tight. Hey, boys, we got 4.
Burrow will throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Let's go. Defense is
A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tartt.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
It's our time. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Lance now on first down. Looking deep for Adams. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Davante Adams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, for Trey Lance, not only was he the youngest quarterback in the 2021 draft class, but many say he had the strongest arm, too, and he showed it off here.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Lance now on first down. Looking deep for Adams. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's third year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Lance going to throw.
Push him back. Push him back.
This one caught by Kittle. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown! Jamar Chase, 78 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And McPherson on for the extra point. And oh, it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
So even when they get a touchdown in this game, which hasn't really been a stellar contest for them, they can't even cap it off and kick the extra point.
Yeah, just not a whole lot going right for them in this game.
I know that when they get into film, this is going to be Exhibit A about how this game went for this team. Oh, we finally score. Can't even kick the extra point.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Lance giving it to Sermon now on the option. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Lance going to try and throw on third down here. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Joseph Osai in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Now it's Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Flush to his right. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big 30-yard play on third.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Hey, we got four down.
Burrow on play action. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. And there they got him the ball just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Flushed out right. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Niners are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted, and remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
And there are really very few fullbacks in the NFL today that get used as weapons in the passing game. But Kyle Juszczyk, definitely one of them. Part of the reason he's been a Pro Bowler 5 years in a row.
From the 44, Lance. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
59 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. On play action, Lance. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they were right on target there with a fade to get the 2.
It seems like a low percentage play, doesn't it? Because you're throwing it into a really tough spot and there's not much room to come down. But when you have a really athletic receiver and a quarterback with touch, it's hard to defend.
Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
To throw, it's Lance. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Davante Adams with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the 49ers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Mike 42, check, check, Mike 42.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. Touchdown! Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Lance going to hold on to it. He'll have a first down past the 40. He stiff arms him. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He is going to be stopped cold. The line of scrimmage.
Also to do brings up 2nd and goal at the 11-yard line.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Again, Sermon. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. 67 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Touchdown, defense. 57's the mic. Watch 57. I'm here all day.
Sermon. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Trey Sermon with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Niners add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They run. Here's Sermon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second and 6 with the ball on the 7.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Here we go. Hey, tight. Double tight.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. Play action. It's Burrow. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here we go. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Mike's 42. Mike.
Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tartt. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
57's the Mike.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
You. 57's the Mike.
Lance, a give now to Sermon, and he'll get it down here to the 43. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Lance on the option right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And Lance will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down.
57's the Mike.
I'm coming.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
57.
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.